How do you land a job as a photographer, designer, videographer, or content creator? This video is for you. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Anita. I'm going to share my top tips on how you can land your dream job in the creative industries. Work two jobs. One is with a nonprofit, one is with a business, both in creative roles. With my business, it is actually a creative company. It's a radio station that I work on their digital side. The reason I wanted to make this video is because when I was starting out, I wouldn't have believed that you could get to do the things that I do, like photography, design, video, content strategy, marketing, all kinds of things, community building. I get to do all of it in these roles, and this is exactly what I used to do for free when I was working for myself and building up these channels. So I know that it is possible for you, and honestly, I love my job, and I don't know very many people these days who actually love their job, and my hope and dream for the world is that everyone gets to do work that they love. So whatever I can do to share a bit of it and make that path a little bit more clear for you, that's what I'm here for. Okay, my first tip is to start learning. Maybe you already know what creative industry you actually want to work in and what role, but maybe you're just starting out and you're like, I just want to do something creative. I don't even know if I want to do fashion or I want to do writing. Like, I just want to do something creative. Once you actually start trying things out, you'll discover what you actually like. And the more that you learn from other people, you'll also find what inspires you and what lights you up. So for example, once I started traveling and realized how it just made my life so much better and transformed my heart, mind, my abilities, and my character, I knew that I wanted to help other people learn how to travel. However, when I read travel blogs, usually I wasn't very inspired. I got a lot of practical tips, but I didn't really get to learn or hear about the soul of traveling. And so the type of travel content I've ended up creating is quite different from a conventional travel blogger. But the only way that I figured that out was, one, actually reading travel blogs and seeing what was out there, and then actually trying it out. Which leads me to tip number 2. Start making something and be prepared to do it for free. Even though I know if you're watching this, one day you want to get paid for it, there's a lot of value in doing it for free. I have done a lot of work for free. Content creation, making videos for people. It just gets me in the practice, and it also makes me more confident that I know I could do it. And it also helps you discover what it is that you actually want to create. So when I actually tried to write travel blogs that are more like how to book a flight, I was not interested about it. The kind of stuff that just flowed from my heart when I actually put my fingers on the keyboard and started writing was something different. And actually the same thing with the travel vlogs. I mean, no one will really pay you to make travel vlogs, at least not at the beginning, but it helps you discover what kind of films you like making. The first time I made a vlog, I remember feeling like, I don't actually want to take people on every single bus ride that I take. I want people to experience like the feeling of travel. So my videos have a different style than the usual travel vlogs. And you're going to find what your style is, but it just starts with making something. So number 1, learn. Do whatever you've got to learn, whether it's taking courses or just learning online or reading stuff online, and then just start making something. Tip number 3 is to be okay with it looking like crap, especially at the beginning. The point of this, especially when you're just getting started, is just make stuff and make a lot of stuff. There are things I've made that I know in my soul I could do better. Even this video, I know that there's one day where it'll be more fancy, schmancy, and even every time I make a video, I'm always trying to aim higher, but there's a certain point where I could spend 10 days making one video, or I could spend 10 days and make 4, and know that eventually it'll get better. So I really encourage you to be okay with it looking like crap. And honestly, usually people don't think it's crap. You can still add it to a portfolio, and it gives you practice. And in my opinion, it's way better to have 20 things in your portfolio and then you have 8 to pick from that are your best than to only make 6 things and they're perfect, but you haven't quite found your style yet. When you make 20 things, you'll definitely be able to find your style better than if you only make a few things that you're trying to perfect. The next thing you want to do then is compile your portfolio. If you've been doing everything, you're starting to get a feel for what you like to do, what you want to do, and you're actually making things, now you've got to put it all together. And there has never been an easier time to create a portfolio. There's lots of websites like Wix and Squarespace that make it really easy for you to build a website. You can also do it through WordPress. Just start putting all of your things together. And the beautiful thing that I love about working in the creative industries, and especially when you're just starting out, is everything that you make, you get to put in your portfolio. And especially if you're helping people make things and you're doing it for free, and you're like, can I put this in my portfolio? They're obviously gonna say yes. Sometimes if you work for companies, the stuff that you make is confidential, it's for a client, you're not supposed to use it in your portfolio. So when you're starting out, it's actually great. You have tons of stuff to put in your portfolio. I've built my own websites, designed my own graphics, started my own YouTube channel, figured out my Instagram style, and I just figured it out and started doing it because I wanted to. And then when I went to go apply for jobs, I had a very fleshed out portfolio. You also can actually direct your portfolio to a company. So if, for example, if you want to be a designer for an athletic wear brand, you can make sure that you just start building portfolio and working with companies, or before you get to work with companies, just building stuff for free that's all related to the stuff that athletic wear brands would be interested in. So as you put it all together, you're going to see that you've got a decent sized portfolio. And if your portfolio you feel like is pretty sparse right now, then just keep building it. That's an actual really important part. You don't have to wait for your portfolio to be finished in order to present it to people, but just know that it's a living, breathing entity and that you should always be adding to it. The next thing is to start showing your portfolio to people. It's that simple. Now, if you're creative type, you might be the type that actually just likes to sit quietly behind a screen and not talk to anyone. I know, because I'm like that sometimes. But this is an important part of actually landing a job and making a profession in the creative industries. You've got to get out there and talk to people and just show them what you're made out of. And if you've got a portfolio, all you got to do is show them your portfolio. And whenever I meet people who are just starting out and potentially wanting to intern with one of my companies, I ask them, do you have a portfolio? If they say no, I'm like, put that together. It just shows that you can put thought into how your work fits together too. And there's obviously lots of ways that you can make your portfolio unique. However you do your portfolio, you've got to show it to people. Okay, so how do you actually meet people? This is where I want you to step out of your comfort zone and find people to talk to. Now there's a couple of ways. You can write emails to people, you can show up to networking events and talk to people. I know it's awkward, but it still helps because it still is going to get you to open your mouth and talk about the things that you're passionate about. And then you can even go to relatives or other friends who are creatives, or if you're just leaving school, you can talk to people who graduated recently. You can go and find the internship coordinator at your school and ask to talk to alumni. It's actually a lot easier to find people to talk to if you just start. And if you're already working in a company, you can go and find the creative department and ask someone if they'll have lunch with you. It's that simple. I know it can feel awkward at the beginning, but the reward is that you get to make a living making creative things, and to me, that's worth it. Okay, so let's say you've done all of this now, you're talking to people, you've got a portfolio, you still haven't landed the job yet. That's okay. I want you to trust that there's a job out there that is uniquely for you. My experience has really made me believe that there's a great plan and a destiny for you, and you cannot miss your dream job if you are prepared. It might, for some people, they get it within 2 weeks. For some people, it takes 2 months or 2 years, but know that the whole process is worth it. So the next step in the process then is to diversify your skill set or specialize. Basically, this is taking your craft, which is newer to you, and taking it up to the next level. What is the next thing you can do that will make it even better? Even if you haven't gotten a job yet, just assume that that job is coming and that you are getting more and more qualified for it. So, for example, one of the things that I did, I knew that when I was building my skill set, video felt like the hardest thing to me, right? Writing, I can do on my own. Even photography is quite simple and it's an easy introvert activity. However, making video requires me to move around, it potentially requires me to talk, and there's more moving pieces, right? I can take 100 photos in an hour, but to make a video, I have to take 100 good shots and put them all together. So I didn't start out with video. I started with more simple forms of media like blogging, and then I started with photography, and then I started writing little bits and started writing more, and I got to a point where the next thing I knew, the next skill set I knew I wanted to build was video. And so I had to just start. And it started, and some of it looked like crap, but I still kept going with it. And before I was even getting paid to make videos, I was like preparing to make my videos better and better and better. So I want you to think of what it is for you. Do you want to diversify your skill set, right? If you're already a designer, do you want to get into photography? Or do you want to become a better designer? Then in that case, what are more things that you can design? Like you can go from Facebook graphics to posters to wall size, like murals, whatever it is, just keep building your craft. And honestly, this is a lifelong skill that as a creative, you are going to need and to use. The people who are masters at the craft are masters because they're still working on the craft and they're still getting better. And this is part of the fun of being a creative anyway, isn't it? So just enjoy the process, keep getting better, keep talking to people, keep building your portfolio, and know that your dream job is coming. And then my final tip, which is like almost guaranteed to work, is to make something custom for the company. Let's say there's a company that you really want to work for, and you've built a portfolio, you've got a nice set, make something custom for that company. I know a lot of people for whom this has worked. I did a version of it myself when I was applying to my job at the nonprofit. I sent them my portfolio, but I knew that there were some things in my portfolio that they'd probably kind of be like, this isn't what we're about. I ended up writing them a testimony, which is my story, just to explain some things so they wouldn't be entirely turned off. And I heard afterwards, once I got the job, that it helped, right? So sometimes you can't send a company your whole life story. In this particular case with this nonprofit, I knew that I could. But there are other times where you can make like a custom video, like animate something unique and send it to the program director. And the really cool thing is now that I'm on the other side of the desk, where I'm the one receiving emails that people send, I can really tell when someone has put energy and effort into making sure that their portfolio is actually tailored to the job that we are hiring for. If it just seems like they have a generic portfolio and they're just like, yeah, I want an animator job, I'll take anyone I can get. It feels like that. Especially with creatives, we're so passion driven. We want to work with people who are just as passionate, and not just about the actual work, but also about the cause that the company works for. Then my final tip is to be patient and persistent. This is a life thing. If you want to be a creative, you can be. And you already are a creative. You've just got to put it into motion and to keep practicing and be patient and persistent. Even for me, even though I'm working in jobs that I love right now, like chances are I won't be working in them 20 years from now. I'll be doing something different, and I'm still going to be doing every single thing here that I named today. Like I'll diversify, I'll make things that I'm like, this is crap, but I know I'm going to get better. I'll talk to people and I'll just keep sharing my passion. And I know that as long as I keep doing that, I'll always have work. So if you're just starting out, know that there are good people out there who want to support you, who want to hire you. And if you're willing to work for free, they're happy to bring you on. You just got to get the pieces moving. And everything I've named here today is going to help you to turn the wheels of providence in your favor so that you are ready for that job when that company is ready to hire. And that's it. If you guys have any specific questions about any of the stages or the process I mentioned, just let me know in the comments below. I am more than happy to answer. If you want to follow me on my creative journey as we learn, grow, and create here, just join me over on Instagram at Anita Wingley and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.